Hi, I'm Alpha Trivette, and here's my 5-minute view of the world. I'm going to start the clock for you right now, and thank you for making me a part of your day. If you're listening at chilledradio.co.uk, or if you're watching at New Radio Alpha, that's at nrs.blogtronics, spelled blogtronics.net/alpha, or at kellyandalpha.com, or on Facebook. Thank you for making me a part of your day. By the way, for my friends in the UK, tough day, huh? Financially, big hit. Some big reorganization in the government. It's going to have to take place there and here as well, but it's not going to sit well with the markets for a while. Plummeting in Europe, and going to plummet as soon as they open here too. Not going to be a pretty day on Wall Street. Want to say thanks to Pete in Madison, Wisconsin, to Pat in Denver, Colorado, to Jim in Jacksonville, Florida, to Mary in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you for making me a part of your day, and thank you for your comments about yesterday's show. Yesterday's show was about the fact that if politicians say things to us that are untrue, they're not lies, they just misspoke. And they are serial misspeakers, apparently. We'll get more into that in just a bit, but first, here's your brain stretcher question for the day. If you're part of an average family, and let's assume that you have been at one time, or maybe you are now, you have this around the house, but you never use it. And it's worth about 90 bucks. What do you think it is? We'll get into that in about 3.5 minutes or so. But first, yesterday's show, the fact that politicians always misrepresent the truth. Intentional? Yeah, probably so. Unintentional? Maybe, sometimes. But they always say they misspoke. And it's your problem. You're the one who's to blame if you think that their misspeech was a lie, even though they represented it as such. You see why that's a problem? It's a problem because it's all about confusing you. I mean, that's what our leaders want. They want you to be confused, dumb, helpless, so they can come along and go, well, we'll help you. We are the government, and we'll take care of you. And so many people just swallow that. They don't ask why. Nobody questions why anymore. I mean, even the people who are supposed to question, even the newspapers, the radio stations, the TV stations, the networks, they don't question why. They don't say, why did we vote for this 2,000-page health care bill when you didn't even read it? Why was it so imperative that we had to get it done? We had to do it right now. Otherwise, our economy will collapse. So you rushed it through, didn't even vote on it. Why didn't somebody ask, well, who wrote this? Why didn't somebody delve into that to find out? Mr. Congressman, Mr. Senator, did you have anything to do with writing this? Do you know what's in it? Why are you voting for it? Why? Why don't we ask why? There's Elena Kagan, the nominee for the Supreme Court. They want to rush her appointment through. Meanwhile, a lot of her documents, since she's never been on the bench, are at the Clinton Library in Oklahoma. And they said, well, we need some of that stuff, those documents from the Clinton Library. And they're saying, I don't think we can get it in time for the hearings. Postpone the hearings. I mean, don't you think we ought to have all the information about this person to ask them questions before we make them a member of the Supreme Court of the United States? Why? Why isn't somebody asking that? Why do we just accept the fact that if you have old-fashioned family values, there's something wrong with you? Why is it we believe, or if we believe, that the Ten Commandments should be in a courthouse or should be on the town square, or there's nothing wrong with having them posted in schools? Why is it we've come to believe that there's something wrong with us if we believe there's nothing wrong with the Ten Commandments? Why do we accept the fact that if you don't believe global warming is such a huge problem, that there's something wrong with you? That you're just like one of the flat earthers. You're backward. You're uneducated. Why do we believe that? Why don't we say, excuse me, science is not closed on this. Science is never closed on anything. It's always a process of research and study and theories and developing ideas. I mean, that's what science is all about. How can we say, book's closed, there's no more debate on it? Well, yeah, there is. In fact, there's a lot of debate that says the Earth is getting cooler. Why don't we look into that just a little bit? And why is it that the #1 apostle of global warming, Al Gore, who said in The Inconvenient Truth that the oceans were going to rise 17 feet, that got amended a little later to, well, maybe 3 feet, because I guess he misspoke, and now he's bought a oceanside mansion in California. Well, you must not be too worried about those oceans rising, or you'd have bought further up in the hills. Why? Why don't we question? Why don't we ask why the White House has so many radicals surrounding the President of the United States? Why don't we ask what their plan is for us? Why? Why? And why do we care about Lindsay Lohan? I mean, the news networks covered her arrival in Los Angeles and her trip to the courthouse, all because she's some celebutard that we shouldn't really care that much about. Okay, it could be another Hollywood tragedy, but why do we care that much? Why? All right, running out of time. So here's the answer to the brain stretcher question for you. You have it around the house most likely. If you're an average family worth 90 bucks, you never use it. What is it? Spare change. The way things are going, you might want to dig that out. I'm Alpha Trivette. That's my 5-minute view of the world. See you next time.